Welcome back into Open Line. We are so glad that you're joining us. We have time for a few more calls, so if you do have one of those questions, those legal questions, make sure you get online with us right now, 737-7587. With Kevin Kennedy from the Kennedy Law Firm, we go back to the lines, Kevin. We are going to Michael. Michael, we're glad that you're with us on Open Line. What's your question this evening?
Yeah, hello, Mr. Kennedy.
Good to see you.
I recently retired, and I just wanted an attorney's opinion or take on what your recommendation is for finding either the very best financial advisor or investment company, because I'm not sure, where to go and how to go about that. Thank you.
Well, that is good, and you're doing what you should be doing, seeking everyone's advice. And where I like to start, I would start at my local bank. If you've had a banker, now people won't always say that, but usually my bankers are some of my most trusted advisors, and I like to ask that question. Who do you recommend? And then, a lot of times I'd call them and just chit-chat with them a little bit and hear, because I want chemistry. And of course, in my career, I've had a number, maybe as many as 8 or 9 different financial advisors. And then they've honed down over the years because some really delivered, and it's always the one that you really trust. So my number one banker, and at one time, I was borrowing money from as many as 12 banks because of my real estate work that I did. And so some of the bankers, I loved them. And when I look back, I think if you have a good relationship with your lawyer and you have a good relationship with your financial advisor and a good relationship with your banker, you really love all those guys because they really have your best interests at heart.
Absolutely. All right, let's go right back to our lines right now. Carrie is on the line with us. Carrie, good evening. What's your question or comment for Kevin?
Yes, I called earlier. I was the one that called in about the wreck.
Yes.
Where the guy pulled the gun out on me.
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't through asking a question.
Oh, go ahead, Carrie. We're limited on time, but go ahead and get that last question in.
Okay, what it is, he did have full coverage insurance, and I was wanting to know what else could I do. I've already got a lawyer on the case, and I've got over $300,000 of doctor bills, hospital bills, and I'm damaged for life.
Well, Carrie, this is what I would recommend that you do. You can get a friend, a pastor, or a close friend or family member and go see your lawyer. And you can ask the questions, how much have they offered us? Is that their policy limits? You can always ask, do they have assets over and above that? If they do, they can contribute some assets. And if they don't, your lawyer will have to call it. Why is it good? Because your lawyer usually gets a third, and he's in it to get all that he can because it helps him and helps you. One of the greatest plans ever, so that's what I do. And another advisor, it never hurts anything. Let's just put it all on the table. This is what we've got, and this is what they're offering.
All right, thanks for calling back, Carrie. All right, here we go back to the lines. Rhonda is on the line with us. We're glad that you're joining us, Rhonda. What's your question or comment for Kevin?
Okay, I have a workman's comp case, and it is being, I have been, my case has been going on for 4 years.
Wow.
And I was at work, and I fell on ice, and I literally broke my neck. And I am on my, I'm with the same attorney, but law firm, but I'm on my 4th attorney.
Oh, my.
They don't know what really is going on.
Has anybody made you an offer? Let's just go to the chase. Did they ever offer you any money? And did your lawyers recommend that you take the offer?
No. I mean, yes, I did have an offer. It was a lowball offer, and that same day they went up 4 different times, but my attorney said where they ended is where we should have began. with
Okay.
negotiations.
Well, here's one idea that you might do. Again, you can get your pastor, you can get a friend, you go see that lawyer and ask him to bring some of the other lawyers. If he's with a firm, bring them in and you question each one. What do you say is fair? What do you think is fair? And then what are the odds of us getting this done and how much time? Like you say, 4 years is a long time. Changing the lawyers several times, that's a lot. What are the problems? And if we've got a bunch of significant problems, I want to know. And then y'all are reasonable people and you can hear their explanation and you make your decision from there. And by this time, when is our trial date? They can tell you and rock and roll and take it to the judge.
All right, thanks so much, Rhonda. All right, let's go back to the lines. And we have Deborah with us. Deborah, what's your question or comment for Kevin? Can you hear us, Deborah? All right, Deborah, if you can't hear us, if you can't hear us, give us a call back. We're going to go right back to line with Lynn right now. Lynn, are you able to hear us? And do you have a question or a comment for Kevin?
I have a question, please. I am permanently disabled, have been since 2003. My spouse abandoned me in 2011. Since then, I've not spoken to him. I don't know where he is. I want to get divorced. How do I go about that?
Okay.
And the second question is, I want to, if possible, in Tennessee here, draw alimony from his Social Security. I just turned 61 in December. He's 66.
All right, here's what you do. Can you get a divorce? Absolutely. Do you know where he's at? You don't have to. In Tennessee, we can go for publication. We can run publication. And then if he doesn't respond, you can get a default judgment. Can you ask for alimony? Certainly. Can you get a judgment for the alimony? Certainly. Can you collect it? That gets into the gray areas. Then I would go to the Social Security Administration and see what is available through their process. So you've got a divorce lawyer and a Social Security lawyer. Talk to both of them. But at this point, we all know that marriage is probably not ever going to be restored. So I encourage you just to go ahead and get it settled.
All right, thanks so much, Lynn. Let's go back to the lines right now. And David, are you able to hear us? All right, and David, if you are on the line, just go ahead, give us a quick call back. We've just got a few minutes. Kevin, we have had so many callers. You've given so much great advice this evening. I always kind of like to get your feel for what's on your mind, kind of where are your parting words of wisdom for this evening?
Parting words of wisdom, we're going to go into some uncharted waters. What does that really mean, Kevin? Well, they say the inflation rate is out of control. I'm listening, you're watching, look around. What does that really mean to us? It means more and more people will not have the finances to keep their insurance up. So you heard me earlier, you get insurance to protect yourself, uninsured motorists. And I don't really want you to cut your insurance. The tornado disaster, the flood disaster, you're always hedging. If you have to, get a higher deductible, but try to keep the insurance. My mother told me as a young man, Kevin, always keep your medical insurance. And so she gave me some of the greatest advice. I was young. You got to listen to somebody. So parents, I want you to take the extra initiative to talk to your children and your grandchildren and double check them. What we have many times are adult children think they know better and they get out and they don't pay their insurance. Mom and Dad, I'm telling you, you make sure, do a follow-up and pay, because otherwise you're picking up the pieces.
And Kevin, we just got about a minute left and just wanted to kind of touch on that. As far as getting the insurance, we've heard from a lot of people who have medical bills, $300,000, $400,000. They don't have the insurance. So again, just why it's so important that you've got to have that insurance.
You need that. That's plan A, but don't say it's over because sometimes the insurance company double cross, won't pay, and you've got the coverage. That's when you need a lawyer. They come in the Kennedy Law Firm all the time. We've got people there that can move. And sometimes, believe it or not, Chuck, sometimes a letter from the Kennedy Law Firm says all of a sudden we've corrected the problem and it's done. Don't you know I'd love to send the letter for you? Don't you know I'd love to send it for your sister? Because I want everybody just to be fair. But if you don't have a lawyer to advance your cause, it'll be over. So And then, even if we can't get the insurance company to do their part, there's always another plan. The bankruptcy, wipe it out. That's why these codes were put in place, to try to protect families and protect your finances so you have a hope in the future. The American judicial system, the greatest in all the world. Does it have flaws? Well, yes, but a skilled lawyer can guide you through that to the other side.
Absolutely. Always have a plan B. I always like
Plan
that
B,
too.
exit
Absolutely.
strategy,
That's
Kevin
right.
Kennedy.
We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to tell you how you can get a hold of the Kennedy Law Firm. So come on back with us.